Shalom. I'd like to say all praise is due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Salakia. I'd like to say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect. This is just me doing a lesson, right, in regards to the financial straits, what's happening in Canada and America, the UK. All right, you know, things is tight, right, and people don't have the money, right. People are basically people who had good credit. They're basically relying on paying, paying certain lifestyle like buying food and stuff. People don't really even have money like that. People are no like people like these people are in straits, right? And we told you guys, basically, that this world that we live in, with this whole like digital system that we basically we're living in, that these people are in straits and they don't know what to do. So this is an article of City News. It says food bank temporarily turn people away after running out of food, right? So so these basically these like Salvation Army, these basically I forgot the term, but basically they're like they're basically what's the term? What's the word? Thinking of the proper term. But basically, like non-for-profits, like these non-for-profit organizations, right? Which they could basically help people, but basically, the grocery stores, um the grocery store, the food and the food supply is being shortened, it's cut back, and this is deliberately, it's cutting back. This is like deliberate, right? Because all the food that we get, it comes from the ports. It comes from the marine law. It comes from basically from the seas, right? And then it goes through these ports, all right, that it goes on trucks, and basically, so people are broke. This whole society is right now, Canada, a lot of people are losing their jobs. Could get the scripture. Salakia. Could get a scripture. Alright, because this is biblical prophecy, man. What's happening? Alright, I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1. Remember now thy creator. So remember God in your youth, right? So that's what we're doing, right? A lot of us, we were very young and we put our foot to the plow, right? Like me myself and other brothers, certain brothers basically came in the truth when they're 17, 16. I came in the truth with basically when I like 18, 19, right? And I'm gonna be I've been in the truth for basically like 16 years. All right, and I have gone through a lot of trials, tribulation, and still going through it. But I'm just holding on to. I'm trying to hold on to the Lord, right? Because we do fall short. But a righteous man falleth 7 times but get back up, right? Remember now that created in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right, so we're not gonna because these people, like these Jake, right? Like when they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or let's say they're in their 50s, they're all used up. They did a lot of you know unholy things in their flesh, and they want to come and act like, basically like they go to these like they go to church, and they basically like they basically go to church, they sing and dance. The pastor's not teaching them, as to who they are, right? And and they're in darkness, right? And we're the ones in the light. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, right? So that wisdom understanding, right? Right, because these people are in darkness, nor the clouds return after rain. And basically the earth is under a dark frequency, right? Here in Toronto, there's been like biblical rain, like heavy, like torrential rain, you know, and that's being like certain areas got flooded out, cars, totally destroyed. Um, some heavy rain, man. So it's a lot of judgments being happening, and there's gonna be more judgment, that's gonna come upon this earth. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the stars men and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the window they be darkened. So these people they're looking out the window, and their hope is being darkened, man. And it's getting, people are broke, you know um some of our, it's like, a couple brothers, we do certain like deliveries, right? And basically certain people are broke, man. you know things is tight. People trying to hold on to that book. People are a lot of people are in, these people are basically broke, man. And these are mostly Edomites. Jake's been going through hell, right? But these Edomites, they're not used to this type of hell, man. Right? So the curse is going on the Edomites, man. Let me play this. Hopefully it doesn't echo. Too hard. Hold on. And this is for educational purposes, all right?
Is another crisis affecting our communities, and the last thing food banks want to do is turn people away. But in Brant County recently, that's what happened. CTV's Jeff Pickle live with that story, and Jeff, this really underscores the challenge bringing in donations in the summer months.
Well, Tony, the summer is typically a low period when it comes to food donations, but with increasing demand, last week the Paris Salvation Army Food Bank ran out of food, and they had to turn people away. Since then, the community has rallied, but now a location.
And like this is, there's a lot of food. There's food, that's that's on these different ports, right? And basically, this is systematically, this is happening, right? Because they wanna basically lead to like a civil unrest, to a civil war, right? And that's what's gonna happen. So people are gonna be they're not used to not eating for a day or two. They're, like, that's why we, like we go on intermittent fast. Like we might do like a 24-hour flat fast, or maybe like an intermediate fast. They might, you might eat, like 12 or 1, in the afternoon, and like basically like break your fast. you know. But these people are not used to that type of love, of that type of life, right? That spiritual life. They're used to that flesh, that carnal flesh, right? So you know, I only went to a food bank like a handful of times, but apart from that, I had to work. You know, I had to work like 2 3 jobs. I had to work like, you know, like live like two jobs. Like that was like years ago. Now I don't really do that. The damn two job, because you know, because your body needs rest. You know, but you know, I never really relied on food bank, and especially when you're Jake, like they're not gonna give you a proper, adequate amount of food, right? So these Edomites, they're basically dependent on the food banks, right? And using their credit cards, right? And they're basically maxing out their credit cards, man. All right. You know, their mortgage is due for renewal. You know, they have a lot of debt, right? They have like a lot of cars, you know, their insurance. They're in a lot of debt, right? And they have to pay for their cars or their trucks that's insured, you know, and a repo man could come and take away, you know, like what it. So it's like right now these Edomites are in distress, man, and this is good, right? So 2025, man, going to 2026, it's gonna get severe, man. It's gonna get severe. So I'm gonna play this.
Brantford is in risk of running out.
There may be food
There may
on
be
the
food on the
shelves.
shelves.
A lot of the non-perishable things, so cookies, crackers.
But according to the Salvation Army Food Bank in Brantford, it will disappear quickly.
It looks like a lot. That'll be gone by tomorrow when we run food
Yeah,
bank.
look at that. They don't have no damn food, man. Right, and like this is systematically controlled, right? Because these non-for-profit organizations, basically they're basically tax exempt, right? And it's all orchestrated, because if they want, like they could help the people, but this is systematically controlled by you know, like by the elites, right? To starve out the third. It just basically starve out the herd, right? That's what's happening. It says summer is a time when many people take a break, but a local food bank says they learned the hard way recently that hunger does not go on a holiday. The Salvation Army Food Bank in Brant County says it is it had it temporarily turned some people away from the parish location because of the shelves were empty. All right, so this is what's gonna happen, right? Because you know, like these grocery store that we shop in every week. All right, let's say there's a crisis or whatever. There's only enough food basically that's supposed to, like, let's say if there was like a crisis and you had to buy food, right? You know, that food now that that basically that's gonna be like the basically like the food that we basically that we buy it's gonna only last you, you know, let's say it was for 3 days now. It's like you're only gonna be able to buy things, you know, and the shelves are gonna be empty, like, so you won't be able to buy things, you know, if there's a crisis. And that's that's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be something, you know, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's already happening right now, because you know, a lot of people right now, when you go to the grocery store, like people have their little their like before, like people used to have their cart, right? But now they don't really walk with no big cart. They have the small little hand cart, right? And they're basically getting stuff, right? So like right now people are broke, right? So it's real out here, man. It is real, right? So I'm gonna play this more. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. So these jobs, these jobs is very these jobs are losing, right? A lot of people that are working, right? They're laid off. They're fired, right? So a lot of people is losing jobs in America, Canada, right? The UK, right? Australia, right? This whole system of the whole European Union, right, is going down, right? The NATO, the beast, right? This system is going down, and it's gonna go down hard, right? Because they plan on destroying and rebuilding, right? By basically by setting up a new system, right? And basically you're gonna you won't be a part of the system unless you bow down and worship the image of Baal, right? And bow down to take that mark, right? So like that's what's happening. And he shall rise up at the voice of a bird, and all the right. So waking up early, right? Like trying to find a job or trying to do a little side job, right? Like things is getting rough, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So the daughters, right? The whole music industry is very dark, right? There's no soul. There's no soul music back in the 60s, early 70s. There's a lot of soul music, but they brought this whole the 80s, the 70s started. It was the whole disco. Then and like the 80s was like the whole rhythm and blues, and then the hip hop, then now it's just nothing but this drill, this confusion, man, right? So so right now everything is being destroyed, man. This whole way of life, this whole American way of life, this whole that whole American way of life is going down the toilet, basically. Someone play this.
There won't be anything left in there. Produce usually goes in and out quickly.
It's a situation they saw play out in Paris last week.
And I got to a certain point where we didn't have any fresh food, so we didn't usually have milk, eggs, like produce.
Radelband says it's the first
Yeah,
time
so
in 20
things
years
is getting rough, right? And like let's say like you have a family, right? And and you have to feed them, and you're dependent on a food bank, right? And the food bank, it basically says that they don't have any food to give you, right? So things is getting rough here in Babylon, man. All right, and it's gonna get a lot more rough, right? This whole prime minister of Canada, like this guy is he bought like a whole I think $9 million like penthouse in Manhattan. He's living the best life, and the people of Canada are feeling it, right? So we're basically under a dictatorship here in Canada, man. So this is good, man. Right? So this is gonna lead to racial tension. All right. Let me see if there's a thing. Slovakia. This confusion. This guy. Yeah, watch this.
Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl. You know what's evil? Canada. Canada's evil. Canada's evil. Canada's evil. Yeah, Canada's evil. You live in an evil country. No better than Nazi Germany or Soviet Union. Try, motherfuckers all. Try.
Yeah, man, this guy just went on a rant, like with his little child, right? So we're in some different times. Where I live like in the whole Niagara region, and there's a lot of people that are homeless. Hamilton, the same thing. Um, when you go up north to Barrie, when you go to London, when you go to Windsor, right? There's nothing but homeless people, you know, and Canada wasn't really like that, you know. Even like Toronto has been bad, but with let's say within the past 5 or 10 years, right? There's been a lot of homelessness because there's no more housing anymore, right? They're not really they're not really building affordable housing. They're giving people like they're building these condominiums and stuff. They're not really like trying to help the so-called average people of Babylon or America or Canada. Like they don't really care. The only thing they're really concerned about is the damn immigrants, and the immigrants, they basically get like they get fed a lot, man. Like they're like the system really helps the immigrants, right? And the people that are so-called average, so-called Canadian or American or whatever, they're nothing. Basically, like, they're catching nothing but hell, right? So I want to play this.
Had to turn people away.
Had to turn people away.
Breaks my heart.
Breaks my heart. Salvation Army says
Salvation Army says they and other food banks across the country are seeing a dramatic increase in need.
Demand is up. Food prices are climbing, and so people who never thought they would need to access a food bank are suddenly needing that extra help, and we need the help of our community.
They say
Yeah,
while their
so they
community
don't
is
really care, man. All right, it's like all a big damn joke. All right, they're not really helping the people, right? This is like what they're doing. They're squeezing the people, man. All right, and this is gonna get a lot more severe, man. All right, want to play this?
Generous donating
is not always top of mind in the summer.
So really from about Easter or a little past Easter maybe
So
until September.
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share this link in the description. All right, but that's pretty much the point. The point is made. All right, the food banks is running out of the food. All right, that's why I'm gonna title this: Food banks running out of food. All right, so I'm gonna share this link in the description, man. All right, we're approaching these times, right? So the only thing that we're gonna have to rely on is faith, right? That's the only thing that's gonna help us. All right. All right. I could get Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So we're approaching the 6th trouble, right? Right. We're approaching the 6th, the mark of the beast. We're approaching that 6th trouble. Right? That's gonna try everyone in the world. Right? It's gonna try it because they're gonna bring out this whole new this system, which is already set up in I believe in Switzerland and I think Denmark, and like they already have that whole mark of the beast system in certain parts of Europe, all right, and Asia, all right. But what they have to do, they have to bring it to the West, cause the West, this whole system has to crash. There's gonna be no cash. It's gonna be a cashless society. You're not gonna be able to barter with cash, right? They're gonna barter, basically, with that whole charagma, that's gonna be in your flesh, right? And that's gonna be your whole barter system, and basically your social credit score. Right, they already have this thing in China, All right, and it's gonna get a lot more severe. So the only thing what they need is just like one crisis, one worldwide crisis that they could lock down the world again, like they did in a couple years ago during the whole pandemic, right? And famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in the war from the power of the sword, right? So we're approaching famine, right? We're approaching crazy people, right? So we gotta stay on point. We gotta do our little training, right? And be aware of our surroundings, and stay with the sword of the spirit, right? That's gonna protect us, from these demons, right? Because there's no love, man. There's no love in the city, like that song with Jay-Z. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. There's no love, man, in this city, man. All right. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, and neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So that's what's gonna happen, man. At destruction and famine, right? The elect is gonna laugh because the elect is gonna be protected, right? Like whoever they are, some of the elect will be martyrs, but some of the elect are gonna be protected, right? You might have an angel, that's gonna, who's gonna protect them, or whatever miraculous thing that was gonna happen, but that's what's gonna happen. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So that's what we're gonna have to rely on, right? We're gonna because we won't be able to live in no apartment, no condominium, no house. You're gonna have to live off the grid, right? So if you don't have a tent, go buy a tent, right? Because you never will know, right? And I have to invest in a tent, because you never know, right? And just like how Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, we were like nomads, right? So we're gonna have to be nomads in the spirit, So I'm gonna share this link in the description, that food banks temporarily turn people away from running out of food, right? So I'm gonna entitle this the food banks run out of food in Canada. Yeah, I'm gonna put that, right? So with that, let us say our praise due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. Double honors the apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.